Hello everyone, this is Mike from EdgeNote 50 TV, and today we're going to be talking about Billy Joe Saunders. You've probably heard the news already. Billy Joe Saunders had to vacate his WBO belt because he failed a drugs test. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a little bit more detail in regards to that. We're going to go into the doping organizations, which is VADA and UKAD. So we're going to go into both of those organizations there, and we're going to talk about the drug as well. So the drug that he got banned for was Oxilofrine, and we're going to go into more details about what is Oxilofrine, what are the effects, what it does, how it affects performance. So we're going to be talking about those as well. So yeah, and also we're going to go into the relative detail in regards to UKAD and VADA and find out more in regards to how easy it is to access the information you need in regards to what can you take, what can't you take, and also just a general how to get information in general from both those organizations. So first off, we're going to go into Oxilofrine. So what is Oxilofrine? Let's go into more detail in regards to that. So looking at Oxilofrine, let's have a look. So what's the effects? What is Oxilofrine first off? Oxilofrine is a stimulant. I'm not going to go into the full details in regards to that, just because we just go to the basics of what it does and what it is. So originally, Oxilofrine is a stimulant developed to treat low blood pressure in people that do not respond to conventional treatment. So it's not widely used in the UK. It's not licensed drug in the US. Some firms use it. It's being used in supplements. What it does allow for people is to burn fat faster and lose weight. So that is what people use it for. What are the effects of it? So Oxilofrine is thought to increase adrenaline production, boosting endurance, focus, alertness, heart rates, increasing oxygenation of the blood. So I can see why it's a banned substance, because highlighting certain things like adrenaline production, boosting endurance, focus, alertness. I can see in the boxing environment how that could be an advantage, especially if you're taking that on a regular basis. So yeah, I can understand that side of it, and that's what Oxilofrine is and what the effects of it does. So looking into the organizations, so you got VADA and you got UKAD. So let's look into that. So VADA is as I say, it looks quite basic. One thing's good about it is that it does show the athletes that are currently being tested. So for example, if you click on the tab there, you got Terence Crawford, you got Usyk, you got Tony Bellew. So all these athletes are currently tested under VADA. Now who gets tested under VADA, it just depends. You got the WBC, who everybody who is under that sanctioning body or fights under that sanctioning body needs to be tested by VADA if you're going to be ranked by the WBC. Then you have promotional companies like Matchroom or Top Rank or Golden Boy, which they could, if they want to, request that any athlete that faces their fighter be tested under VADA as well. So they can do it under those conditions as well in those circumstances. So looking at the website into more detail, if you want to find out more details in regards to what the substance is, the policies and those kind of information, then if you scroll down, it's got these little on the side, it's got these tabs here that tells you what get the information that you need. So you've got VADA prohibited substance list. First off, if you've got a substance or you've got a drink or an item and you want to find out, and it's got an item on there you're not sure about, then you have to click on the prohibited substance list. So you have to check here first to see if that list is on there. So let's go and look at Oxilofrine, for example, and then let's have a look and see if we can find that on the list. So I've actually had the pleasure of already checking this already, so I already know where it is. As you can see, it's about 10 pages long, so we don't want to be spending all day doing this. So if you scroll down to number 8 on the list, then you can see Oxilofrine right here, and that is the drug where you can find it. highlighted on the list there. No, so in regards to finding out this information, I found it quite difficult just because there's so much information on here. It's not as straightforward. The UKAD, they don't update. They do update this on a regular basis. However, you won't know when they've updated it. You have to keep on checking the website to get that information. So it's not as easy as they'll send you an email every time it's being updated, or they'll send you a notification every time something's being updated. You have to constantly check to see if anything has been updated on that list. If you wanted to look at other information, as I said, the policies are all here. Whereabouts policy, admission form. By the way, this is the form that Tyson Fury had to fill in. So you probably heard that Tyson Fury had to fill in a form by a certain deadline. So this is the form that he had to fill in, to ensure that he's VADA tested, so we can have that fight in December. I'm not going to go into full details. It's a basic form, name, age, date, photograph, and blah, blah, blah. So you can, this website's accessible to everybody. So just type in VADA agency in Google and it comes up and you can look at this yourself. So, as you can see, it's got all this information on there. It's got what it's about, media news, forms, policies. If you want to contact them, you can contact them on there. It's a donation kind of organization. So it's a voluntary, so, you can donate to support VADA if you want to. If you guys are interested in that, donate. And that's pretty much it, really. It's got more information if you want to find out. I've got bios of people that are involved in the testing, media affiliates and, those kind of things. So if you're interested, you can have a look at that. But I just wanted to show you the basics in regards to where you can find out all the prohibited substances and have access to that information in regards to that aspect of it. Now let's look at UKAD. Now looking at UKAD, UKAD is it's a nice cleaner website. It looks more nicer looking, aesthetically. Now when I looked on this website, it was much more easier to organize and to navigate around. So I was managed to get the information a lot more easier, access to information more quicker. So looking at out of competition, in competition, if you wanted to find that information, you go to our organization, what we do, and testing programs. And then you go down, and then it tells you in competition testing. In there, it says in competition testing is conducted in connection with a sporting event. WADA define in competition as the period commencing 12 hours before competition. So that's what the hell? Oh, yeah, there he goes. Yeah, so 12 hours before competition. Now, I find that a little bit strange because I would personally say in competition is, from the time the fight is announced, you're in competition. You're in training camp, you are in competition, you are competing to be fit, you're competing to get into a fight with an opponent, and I consider that in competition. However, UKAD don't see it that way. Now, UKAD is a UK organisation, and a lot of athletes in the UK are with UKAD. So if you are fighting in the UK, then UKAD will supersede VADA. If you are fighting in the United States, then VADA supersedes the UKAD. Now, actually, I did actually show you the VADA where it says the in competition. If you go back to VADA in the prohibited substance list, you click on that, and it tells you on here. So, prohibited substances, the following classification groups and substances are prohibited at all times during participation in the VADA program. So that's what it means. As soon as you're on VADA, these substances are prohibited. As in, you cannot use it as soon as you're in that program. And you have to be in that program as soon as you've announced a fight is happening. Now, in regards to finding out the substance, you know, you got a drink or you've got a substance and you want to find out a certain item in that ingredient is prohibited or not, then there's very easy in regards to finding that information. So I'll show you how to go into it. Go to medication and substances, check in medicines and substances. And then you go to global drugs and references online. So you click on there. It says choose your sports nationality. So I'll put the United Kingdom. And then it says user type. You're an athlete, sports. Go to boxing. So you've got this list over here. Boxing, you've got United Kingdom. And then you've got Oxilofrine on here. So just ignore that. There doesn't, you know, we don't have to go into that details, but the athletes have to read that. So then it comes up with the result here, Oxilofrine. It gives you other names for it as well, but we know it as Oxilofrine, so that's the ingredients that we're looking for. So once you click on that, then it's very clear as day. Red, prohibited. Green, not prohibited. As you can see, in competition, out competition. So green means yes, red means no. Very, very clear as day. And then you can go into more detail. If you click on it, then it explains to you in more detail. Though, you know, it tells you that you can't use it unless you've got an exception, permission to use it in certain circumstances. And then you go outside of competition, and it tells you there's no restrictions on use of this drug in selected time period. So that means that you could have taken this drug numerous many times as you wanted during that period. So that's where the information stands for. You know, I believe that it should be universal everywhere. VADA, UKAD needs to come together to come to some sort of agreement of what is in competition or outside of competition, because then it's going to be difficult for people to understand the processes fully. You know, but as I say, VADA is the US. So if you are fighting in the US, then you go by VADA's rules. If you're in the UK, but you go by UK's rules. But I don't like the UK's rules, because that means technically that you can use a stimulant or high performance drug as much as you want, as long as 12 hours for competition that you're not on it anymore. So it does sound very, very dodgy, and it doesn't look good. So that's pretty much it. As I say, if you've got any comments, if you like what you saw, leave a like or leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Will be much appreciated. Anything else you want me to cover, let me know and I'll talk about it.